I think we can all agree that we want our desires to feel a certain feeling, to have that feeling of accomplishment, that we already have what we want, the feel of relief. Because remember, feeling is the secret. If you feel like your desire is hard to obtain, I want you to listen to this success story because it will actually make you feel like everything is literally possible. Everything is possible, and I mean everything, literally. This was told by the aunt in the story to the entire audience at the conclusion of one of my lectures. So this was one of the lectures of Neville Goddard that he actually talked about the law of assumption. And this chapter is chapter 23 in the book, The Power of Awareness. During the question period following my lecture on the law of assumption, a lady who had attended many lectures and had personal consultations with me on a number of occasions, rose and asked permission to tell a story, illustrating how she had successfully used the law. She said upon returning home from the lecture the week before, she had found her niece distressed and terribly upset. The husband of the niece, who was an officer in the Army Air Force stationed in Atlantic City, had just been ordered, along with the rest of his unit, to active duty in Europe. So, this lady found her niece upset and sad because her husband is leaving to Europe. He got orders to leave Atlantic City and just go to Europe. She tearfully told her aunt that the reason she was upset was that she had been hoping her husband would be assigned to Florida as an instructor. So she wanted her husband to go to Florida, not to Europe. So all her dreams were actually shattered. They both loved Florida and were anxious to be stationed there and not to be separated. Upon hearing this story, the aunt stated that there was only one thing to do, and that was to apply immediately the law of assumption. Let's actualize it, she said. If you were actually in Florida, what would you do? You would feel the warm breeze, you would smell the salt air, you would feel your toes sinking down into the sand. Well, let's do all that right now. So the aunt now is instructing her niece to apply the law of assumption religiously, with vivid detail in her imagination, to get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. She would feel the sand on the beach, so she is telling her to just walk on that beach and feel her feet sinking into the sand. This is how vividly you can imagine, because when you are imagining vividly, you are creating that feeling state more easier. They took off their shoes and turning out the lights. In imagination, they felt themselves actually in Florida, feeling the warm breeze, smelling the salt air, pushing their toes into the sand, doing what they would do if they were in Florida right here, right now, not in the future. They are in the now, imagining as if they are in Florida right here, right now, not in the future. Remember, we are imagining right now because to the right brain, everything is here and now, the past, the present, the future. So you are making a resonance, a universal resonance with the state that you want to be in. 48 hours later, the husband received a change of orders. 48 hours later, 2 days, 2 nights, not 2 months, 2 days, guys. His new instructions were to report immediately to Florida as an Air Force instructor. Wow. This was fast. That's what she said. Anyway, 5 days later, his wife was on a train to join him, while the aunt, in order to help her niece to attain her desire, joined in with the niece in assuming the state of consciousness required. She did not want to go to Florida. That was not her desire. On the other hand, that was the intense longing of the niece. So the aunt was just doing the imaginal act in order to help her niece know about the law of assumption. She didn't want to go to Florida. She didn't want none of that. She wanted to help her niece to go there. So she aided that by imagining as if they were both together in Florida. And the desire was the niece's desire, not hers, not the aunt. So it happened to the niece, not to her. And you can do it actually to any one of your friends. If you are, for example, finding someone who is suffering to apply the law of assumption, you can sit with him and apply the law by telling him, let's imagine that me and you are in that place and we are walking and we are talking and we are feeling everything around us, just to help him to get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled as if he is already there. And if you are wondering about the techniques and what technique to use and how to use it, I was actually like you. I was jumping from one book to another, and some of these books were 700 pages just to get one info out of it. So all I did was gathering all the info in one ebook, and actually it wasn't meant to be published at all. It was meant to be just for me. But all of a sudden, I found out that some of you guys, and actually most of you, are asking about the techniques. So I published it. You can actually find the link to that ebook in the description box. But what I really want you to do every day before you go to bed, the last 5 minutes are critical. These 5 minutes are the inception point to the subconscious. You can actually reprogram your subconscious mind in these 5 minutes. All you have to do is relax, breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 7, breathe out for 8 seconds. Do that 5 times. Your body will be completely relaxed. And now ask yourself, how would I feel if I have such and such right here, right now? You will start to get images in your head. You will start to feel like you are hearing the congratulations from people around you. Whatever it is that you want, it will happen. Just do this technique and sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled as if it's already happening right here, right now. And sleep as if it is true and watch the magic happen. So that's it for today's video. I hope you find it helpful. If you did, subscribe to the channel. Like to reach more people. Tell me down below in the comments, what do you want to see next and what do you think? Check out the ebook in the description box. Until next video, I'll see you soon.
It's not just to entertain an idea. What idea? The idea must produce in you this feeling, which is a sensation, but it must be a feeling. What would the feeling be like if it were true? You dwell upon that until you catch that feeling. As Churchill said, that the mood determines the fortunes of people, rather than the fortunes, the mood. The mood precedes the fortune. So what would you want in this world? Well, contemplate it. What would the feeling be like if you had it? What would it be like if it were true?